Hi, welcome to ECBSC online classes. In this video, we are going to solve questions from previous papers on the topic of polynomials. You may be already knowing that polynomials has got following topics. What are polynomials? Zeros of a polynomial, relation between coefficients and zeros of a quadratic polynomial, polynomial division, and division algorithm for polynomials. I'm going to solve more than 20 problems from old question papers on these topics. You do one thing, pause the video and go and get a pen and paper such that you can solve the problems along with me. If you do that, I'm sure you can score 100% marks on the questions given from the topic of polynomials in your final exam. I hope you have subscribed to my channel. If not done yet, please subscribe to my channel. I'm going to cover many more topics which are going to benefit you in your final exams. Let's start with questions. A teacher asked 10 of his students to write a polynomial in one variable on a paper and then to hand over the paper. The following were the answers given by the students. Please note that all 10 students have given 10 different answers, right? The questions to us are 1. How many of the above 10 are not polynomials? And how many of the above 10 are quadratic polynomials, right? This was given in year 2020, set number 2. Before getting into answering this question, let's quickly recall some basics of polynomials. We know that algebraic equations in the generic form f of x equal to an x bar n plus an minus 1 x bar n minus 1 plus an minus 2 x bar n minus 2 and so on are called polynomials when the coefficients are real numbers and the exponents are positive integers. Please take a note of this. Let's consider an algebraic equation, that is p of x equal to ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d. In this equation, ax cube, bx square, cx and d are called terms. A, b, c and d are called coefficients. And powers of x such as 3, 2, 1 and 0 are called exponents. Please note that not every algebraic equation is going to be a polynomial. The coefficients have to be real numbers as shown here, and the exponents have to be positive integers. Then only an algebraic equation can become a polynomial. Please take a note of that. Now let's go back to the question. And as you see here, I'm marking the answers which are polynomials with red color box and leaving the ones which are not polynomials. As you see here, the one which I have not marked in the top row, that is x cube plus square root of 3x plus 7. The term square root of x is not having positive integer as the exponent. Please take a note of that. And when it comes to 2x square plus 3x minus 5 by x, in the case of minus 5 by x, the x is not having positive integer as the exponent. And for the last one, that is x plus 1 by x, the 1 by x term is not having positive integer as the exponent. So for that reason, we say that those three are not polynomials. So to answer the first question, 3 of the above 10 are not polynomials. The next one is how many of the above 10 are quadratic polynomials? We know that quadratic polynomial will have degree 2, right? Linear polynomial is of degree 1 and cubic polynomial is of degree 3, right? So as you see here, only one that is marked using arrow, that is 3x square plus 7x plus 2 is a quadratic polynomial. Rest are all not. So to answer the second question, we say that one of the above 10 is a quadratic polynomial. Now let's go to question number 2. Here, the number of zeros for a polynomial p of x where graph of y equal to p of x is given in figure. We are asked to find the number of zeros by looking at the figure. This has come in year 2020, set number 4. Before answering this question, I want you to quickly recall about zeros of a polynomial. Zero of a polynomial is defined as following. If f of x is a polynomial and a is a real number, then a is called zero of f of x if and only if f of a equal to 0. For example, you consider a linear polynomial that is f of x equal to 2x plus 3. When you plot it from the figure, you see that at x equal to minus 3 by 2, f of x is becoming 0. It means that when you substitute x equal to minus 3 by 2 into the previous equation, you get value of f of x as 0. It means f of minus 3 by 2 equal to 0. That's why we say minus 3 by 2 is 0 of f of x equal to 2x plus 3. From the figure, what you have understood is when the line corresponding to polynomial equation is touching the x-axis, that is representing the 0, right? Let's take that into consideration and go back to our problem. From this figure, you see that the line given for y equal to p of x is touching or crossing the x-axis at 3 places, right? It means that p of x equal to 0 for 3 values of x. It means we have 3 number of zeros. So answer is choice A. Please take a note of that. Now let's go to question number 3. Here, if one of the zeros of quadratic polynomial x square plus 3x plus k is 2, then the value of k is what we have to find, and choices were given. And this was asked in year 2020, set number 1. We have just seen what does it mean by 0 of a polynomial. So it was given that 2 is a 0 of x square plus 3x plus k, right? It means that when you substitute 2 for x, the value of this polynomial is going to be 0. It means that 2 square plus 3 times 2 plus k is equal to 0. To simplify it, to get answer k equal to minus 10. So choice B is the answer, right? Let's go to question number 4. It is also in the similar lines. The zeros of the polynomial x square minus 3x minus m times m plus 3 are. So we have to find one of the choices given as the answer. And this was from 2020 set 2. We know what is it mean by 0 of a polynomial. Let me rewrite this expression given as x square minus 3x minus m square minus 3m. When you look at this expression, what you feel is, if I use x equal to minus m, I may get the value of expression as 0. Let me try that out. Let's assume that x equal to minus m and substitute that for x in the given equation. So you get m square plus 3m minus m square minus 3m. When you simplify it, you get answer as 0. It means that x equal to minus m is one of the zeros. So based on this, you can say that now either choice B or choice D has to be the answer, right? Let me go with choice B now and see whether m plus 3 is going to be 0 of the given polynomial or not. For that, let me assume that x equal to m plus 3 and substitute that wherever x is there in the previous equation, so that you can write it as m plus 3 whole square minus 3 times m plus 3 minus m square minus 3m, right? M plus 3 whole square can be expanded using a plus b whole square formula. When you do that and simplify it, what you get is m square plus 3m minus m square minus 3m, that is equal to 0. So we are correct. M plus 3 is another 0. Let me write that. Minus m and m plus 3 are the zeros for the given polynomial. So choice B is the answer, right? Let's go to question number 5. Here, the quadratic polynomial, the sum of whose zeros is minus 5 and their product is 6 is what is the question. We were given with 4 choices. We have to find which one is correct. And it is from year 2020, set number 1. We know that when alpha and beta are the zeros, the quadratic polynomial can be written as x square minus alpha plus beta times x plus alpha beta, right? And it was given that sum of zeros, that is alpha plus beta equal to minus 5, and product of zeros, that is alpha beta, equal to 6, right? Let's substitute these two into the previous equation such that you get x square plus 5x plus 6 as the answer. It means choice A is the answer for question number 5. Now let's go to question number 6. Form a quadratic polynomial. The sum and product of whose zeros are minus 3 and 2 respectively. It is exactly identical to the previous problem. It is from year 2020, set number 1. And we know that when alpha and beta are the zeros, the quadratic polynomial is x square minus alpha plus beta times x plus alpha beta. And it was given that alpha plus beta equal to minus 3 and alpha beta equal to 2. Let's substitute them into the previous equation to get answer x square plus 3x plus 2 as the polynomial, right? Now let's go to question number 7. Find the value of k such that the polynomial x square minus k plus 6 times x plus 2 times 2k minus 1 has sum of its zeros equal to half of their product. Please take a note of this. Sum of its zeros is equal to half of their product. This particular question has come in 2019. Before getting into answering that question, I want you to recall relation between zeros and coefficients of quadratic polynomials. We know that a quadratic polynomial f of x equal to ax square plus bx plus c will have at most 2 zeros, right? And sum of those zeros can be written as negative of coefficient of x divided by coefficient of x square. In this particular case, it is going to be minus b by a. And product of zeros can be written as constant divided by coefficient of x square. For the polynomial f of x equal to ax square plus bx plus c, it is equal to c by a. Please take a note of this. We'll be using these formulas to solve some of the problems. Let's go back to the question. Sum of zeros is negative of coefficient of x divided by coefficient of x square. Coefficient of x is minus of k plus 6 and coefficient of x square is 1. Substitute them and simplify, you get sum of zeros as k plus 6. And product of zeros is constant divided by coefficient of x square. Constant is 2 times 2k minus 1 and coefficient of x square is 1. So substitute and write it as 2 times 2k minus 1, right? And it was given that sum of zeros equal to half of product of zeros, right? It means k plus 6 equal to half times 2 times 2k minus 1. Simplify it such that you get k equal to 7. So k equal to 7 is the answer. Now let's go to question number 8. If alpha and beta are zeros of the polynomial 2x square minus 5x minus 4, then what is the value of 1 by alpha plus 1 by beta is the question. This is from year 2020 compartment exam. We know that 1 by alpha plus 1 by beta can be written as alpha plus beta divided by alpha beta, right? When you see this expression, you say that, okay, numerator is talking about the sum of the zeros of the polynomial 2x square minus 5x minus 4. And denominator is talking about product of zeros of the given polynomial, right? So let's use our formulas. That is sum of zeros is minus of coefficient of x divided by coefficient of x square. When you substitute the values of coefficient of x and coefficient of x square, you get alpha plus beta equal to 5 by 2. And product of zeros, we know constant divided by coefficient of x square, right? When you substitute the appropriate values, you write alpha and beta equal to minus 4 divided by 2, that is minus 2, right? Let's substitute these into the previous equation, that is 1 by alpha plus 1 by beta equal to 5 by 2 divided by minus 2. It means it is minus 5 by 4, right? The answer is 1 by alpha plus 1 by beta equal to minus 5 by 4. Please take a note of that. Now let's go to question number 9. Find the quadratic polynomial whose zeros are reciprocal of the zeros of the polynomial f of x equal to ax square plus bx plus c. This is somewhat similar to what we have seen earlier. This is from year 2020. Let's assume that alpha and beta are the zeros of f of x equal to ax square plus bx plus c. So 1 by alpha and 1 by beta are going to be the reciprocals of these zeros, right? They are going to be zeros of the new polynomial we are going to write. Please take a note of this. As per the question, the zeros of f of x are reciprocal of zeros of the new polynomial. So let's go back to f of x, and sum of their zeros are alpha plus beta equal to minus b by a, and product of zeros of f of x is alpha beta equal to c by a, right? When you come to new polynomial, sum of zeros of new polynomial can be written as 1 by alpha plus 1 by beta, right? That can be written as alpha plus beta divided by alpha beta, and you substitute the values you got earlier for alpha plus beta, that is minus b by a, and alpha beta, that is c by a. When you substitute and simplify, what you get is sum of zeros of new polynomial is equal to minus b by c. Please take a note of that. Similarly, product of zeros of new polynomial can be written as 1 by alpha times 1 by beta, right? It means 1 by alpha beta, right? So we know alpha beta equal to c by a. So 1 by alpha beta is going to be a by c. Let's take a note of these two. Sum of zeros of new polynomial and product of zeros of new polynomial. Using this, we can write the new polynomial as p of x equal to x square minus sum of zeros, that is minus b by c, times x plus product of zeros, that is a by c, right? Simplify it so that you can write it as x square plus b by c times x plus a by c, right? This can be further simplified and written as cx square plus bx plus a. This is the answer. If f of x is ax square plus bx plus c, that has got alpha and beta as the zeros, then p of x, that is equal to cx square plus bx plus a, will have 1 by alpha and 1 by beta as zeros. Let's go to question number 10 now. That is, without actually calculating the zeros, form a quadratic polynomial whose zeros are reciprocals of zeros of the polynomial 5x square plus 2x minus 3. This is exactly identical to the previous problem we have done. This is from year 2020. Let's assume that alpha and beta are the zeros of the polynomial given, that is 5x square plus 2x minus 3, right? Sum of zeros, that is alpha plus beta equal to minus 2 by 5. Product of zeros is alpha beta equal to minus 3 by 5, right? And now we have to go to the reciprocals of the zeros, means 1 by alpha and 1 by beta are going to be the zeros of the new polynomial, right? If that is the case, sum of zeros of the new polynomial are going to be 1 by alpha plus 1 by beta, that is equal to alpha plus beta divided by alpha beta, right? And substitute the values you have for alpha plus beta and alpha beta and simplify it such that you get sum of zeros equal to 2 by 3. Similarly, product of zeros can be written as 1 by alpha times 1 by beta, that is equal to 1 by alpha beta, right? And alpha beta equal to minus 3 by 5. You substitute that so that you get product of zeros as minus 5 by 3. Let's take a note of that. And now let's write the polynomial. The new polynomial can be written as p of x equal to x square minus sum of zeros times x, that is sum of zeros is 2 by 3 plus product of zeros, that is minus 5 by 3. So the new polynomial can be now written as p of x equal to x square minus 2 by 3x minus 5 by 3, right? This can be further simplified and written as 3x square minus 2x minus 5, right? Let's take a look at question number 11 now. If the sum of the squares of zeros of the quadratic polynomial f of x equal to x square minus 8x plus k is 40, then find the value of k. This is the question. It is from year 2020, set number 3. Let's assume that alpha and beta are the zeros of the given polynomial, that is x square minus 8x plus k. And it is mentioned that sum of the squares of zeros is equal to 40. We know sum of zeros and product of zeros, right? The formulas for those two. But here it is given that sum of squares of zeros, that is alpha square plus beta square equal to 40 is given. Using the sum of zeros formula, we can say that alpha plus beta equal to 8 by 1, that is equal to 8. And product of zeros equal to alpha beta, that is equal to k. You try to recall the formula which connects alpha plus beta, alpha beta and alpha square plus beta square. That is alpha plus beta whole square equal to alpha square plus beta square plus 2 alpha beta, right? So we have values for all these terms in the equation. So let us substitute. Alpha square plus beta square is 40, alpha plus beta is 8 and alpha beta equal to k into this equation, such that you get 8 square equal to 40 plus 2k. Simplify it such that you get k equal to 12. The answer to the question is k equal to 12. Let's now take a look at question number 12. That is, find the quadratic polynomial, sum and product of whose zeros are minus 1 and 20 respectively. This kind of problem we have already solved many a times, right? But here we are asked to do something extra, that is also find the zeros of the polynomial so obtained. This is from year 2019, set number 4. Let's assume that the polynomial is ax square plus bx plus c. Please take a look at this. I am not going to solve this problem using the same procedure we have done earlier. This is another way to solve this problem. I am assuming the polynomial as ax square plus bx plus c. And sum of zeros based on the formula, we can say that it is going to be minus b by a for ax square plus bx plus c, right? That is given as minus 1. Please take a note of that. It means that b by a is equal to 1 or b equal to a, right? Similarly, product of zeros can be written as constant divided by quotient of x square. It means c by a for this particular expression, and that is given as minus 20. So c by a equal to minus 20. So that can be written as c equal to minus 20 times a, right? If I assume that a equal to 1, then what happens is b is going to be 1, c is going to be minus 20, right? Now we have values for a, that is 1, b, that is 1, and c, that is minus 20, right? Let's substitute all these values into ax square plus bx plus c, such that you get the polynomial, that is x square plus x minus 20. This is the polynomial we are looking for. The second part is we have to find zeros of the polynomial so obtained, right? It means that we have to find the factors of x square plus x minus 20 first. To do that, I'm going to use method of splitting the middle term. That says find the numbers p and q such that p plus q is going to be quotient of x and pq is going to be constant of the given quadratic polynomial. It means that if I take 5 and 4 minus 4 as the numbers, 5 times minus 4 is equal to minus 20. 5 plus minus 4 equal to 1. So it is satisfying our requirement, right? So I say that p equal to 5 and q equal to minus 4. Then let me rewrite x square plus x minus 20 as x square plus 5x minus 4x plus 5 times minus 4. Now looking at this expression, you can take x as common factor from first two terms and minus 4 as common factor out from last two terms, right? If you do that, you will end up with an expression like x times x plus 5 minus 4 times x plus 5. You take x plus 5 common from this expression itself such that you get x plus 5 times x minus 4. So the polynomial is factorized into x plus 5 times x minus 4, right? And we know that if beta is 0 of f of x, then f of beta is equal to 0, right? So if I say that beta is 0 of this particular expression, x plus 5 times x minus 4, then we can write beta plus 5 times beta minus 4 equal to 0, right? This equation is valid when beta plus 5 equal to 0 or beta minus 4 equal to 0, right? So you simplify it such that you get beta equal to minus 5 and beta equal to 4, right? So we can now say that minus 5 and 4 are the zeros of the polynomial x square plus x minus 20, right? Let's go to next question, that is question number 13. Find the zeros of the quadratic polynomial 7y square minus 11 by 3y minus 2 by 3. Finding zeros is already covered, but the next step we are asked to do is verify the relation between zeros and the coefficients. As you see, it is from 2019. This particular polynomial can be written as 3 times 7y square minus 11y minus 2, right? Or in other words, we can say that it is 21y square minus 11y minus 2. So to get the zeros of this particular polynomial, we have to factorize, right? Let's factorize 21y square minus 11y minus 2. I'm going to use method of splitting the middle term. For that, we have to find two numbers p and q such that p plus q equal to coefficient of x. In this particular case, it is going to be coefficient of y. And PQ is going to be product of remaining coefficients, right? The remaining coefficients you have are 21 and minus 2. Their product is minus 42, right? So now minus 42 can be written as 3 times minus 14. So when you sum these two numbers, 3 plus minus 14, what you get is minus 11, right? It is exactly matching our requirement. So let me say that P equal to 3 and Q equal to minus 11. So as per method of splitting the middle term, we can now write 21y square minus 11y minus 2 as 21y square plus 3y minus 14y minus 2. So you can take 3 as common factor from first two terms and minus 2 as common factor from last two terms. When you do that, you get 3y. Okay, I am taking 3y as the common factor from first two terms. 3y times 7y plus 1 minus 2 times 7y plus 1 is what you get, right? You can take 7y plus 1 as common factor out so that you get 7y plus 1 times 3y minus 2. Now the given expression 21y square minus 11y minus 2 is now written as 7y plus 1 times 3y minus 2. And we know that if beta is 0 of f of y, then f of beta is going to be 0. So as per that, we can write 7 beta plus 1 times 3 beta minus 2 equal to 0. This particular equation is valid when 7 beta plus 1 equal to 0 or 3 beta minus 2 equal to 0, right? When you simplify those two, what you get is beta equal to minus 1 by 7 for 7 beta plus 1 equal to 0 and beta equal to 2 by 3 for 3 beta minus 2 equal to 0. So now we can say that minus 1 by 7 and 2 by 3 are the zeros of the given polynomial. Fine. We are done with first part of the problem. Now we have to verify the relation between zeros and the coefficients, right? To do that, let me take sum of the zeros we got, that is minus 1 by 7 plus 2 by 3, that is 11 by 21. Let's take a note of that. And product of zeros is minus 1 by 7 times 2 by 3, that is minus 2 by 21, right? This is what we have gotten with the help of the zeros we obtained. Now, we learned some formulas already. It says that sum of zeros of quadratic polynomial equal to negative of coefficient of y divided by coefficient of y square. And product of zeros equal to constant divided by coefficient of y square, right? If you observe the equation given, that is 21y square minus 11y minus 2, coefficient of y square is 21, coefficient of y is minus 11, and constant is minus 2, right? Let's substitute these for sum of zeros formula. That says that sum of zeros equal to minus of minus 11 divided by 21. That is equal to 11 by 21. This is exactly equal to sum we have obtained from the zeros, right? Similarly, apply the product formula, product of zeros formula, and use coefficients of constant and coefficient of y square, so that you get product of zeros equal to minus 2 by 21, right? That is exactly equal to what we have seen for the product, right? It means that the formulas we have written are the relation between zeros and coefficients are verified. Let's go to next question. Question number 14. Check whether g of x is a factor of p of x by dividing polynomial p of x by the polynomial g of x. And we are given expressions for p of x and g of x. From this statement, you see that p of x is dividend and g of x is divisor. So this is about division of polynomials, right? This is from 2019 question set number 3. Let me write the p of x as shown here. Since x power 4 term is not there, I am writing 0 times x power 4 in the p of x equation here. And this is dividend. And let me draw a line like that. And then put divisor on the other side of the line, that is x cube minus 3x plus 1. The first step we have to follow is we have to consider the terms of highest exponents in dividend and divisor. In the case of dividend, it is x power 5. Divisor, it is x cube, right? Let me now divide x power 5 with x cube. Answer I get is x square, right? Let me write that x square at the top. This is going to be part of your quotient of the polynomial division, right? The next step is let me multiply divisor with x square such that I get x power 5 minus 3x cube plus x square. The next step is we have to divide this, we have to subtract this from the dividend given. When you subtract it, what you do is we simply change the signs of the expression written below and simply sum them, right? When you do that, what you get is minus x cube plus 0 as the answer, right? Now what we have to do is we have to bring down 3x plus 1. When you bring down 3x plus 1, what the expression you have here is minus x cube plus 3x plus 1, right? Now let me repeat, considering the terms of highest exponents in dividend. So that is going to be minus x cube, right? Now let me divide minus x cube with x cube. That is going to give you minus 1 as the answer, right? This particular minus 1 has to go as part of quotient at top. So now quotient you have is x square minus 1, right? The next step is multiply the divisor with minus 1 such that you get minus x cube plus 3x minus 1. Let me subtract this from the previous expression such that I get answer 0. It means the remainder is 0, right? Since remainder is 0, we can say that divisor g of x is a factor of dividend p of x. This is what we are asked to check, whether g of x is a factor of p of x or not, right? We say yes, g of x is a factor of p of x. And let's go to next question, that is question number 15. For what value of k the polynomial f of x equal to 3x power 4 minus 9x cube plus x square plus 15x plus k is completely divisible by 3x square minus 5 is the question. We are asked to find the value of k, right? This is from 2019. This is also a division problem. Let me write f of x, that is dividend, and draw a line. And then 3x square minus 5 is my divisor. It goes on the other side. And first step is we have to consider terms of highest exponents. That is 3x power 4 on dividend side and 3x square on the divisor side. Let me now divide 3x power 4 with 3x square such that I get answer x square. That is going to go at the top of the line we have just drawn. And now the next step is, let me multiply divisor with x square. Answer is 3x power 4 minus 5x square. You subtract that from the previous expression such that you get minus 9x cube plus 6x square. Let me now bring 15x down, and from this expression you have minus 9x cube as the term of highest exponent, right? Let me now divide minus 9x cube with 3x square. Answer is minus 3x. This 3x minus 3x has to go as part of quotient at the top as shown here. And the next step is multiply 3x square minus 5 with minus 3x such that you get answer minus 9x cube plus 15x. Let's subtract this from previous expression. And when you subtract, what you get is 6x square. Let me bring k down now. So the expression I have is 6x square plus k, right? From this expression, 6x square is the term of highest exponent. Let me divide 6x square with 3x square. The answer I get is 2. The next step is write 2 plus 2 as part of quotient. So that quotient now becomes x square minus 3x plus 2, right? And multiply divisor with number 2 such that you get 6x square minus 10, right? Let me subtract this from the previous expression. When I subtract, what I get is k plus 10 as the answer or the remainder, right? But if the polynomial f of x has to be completely divisible by 3x square minus 5x, the remainder has to be 0, right? So when will the remainder becomes 0? K plus 10 has to be 0, right? It means k has to be minus 10. So when you write minus 10 in the place of k in the given expression for f of x, automatically 3x square minus 5 is going to divide it completely. This is what we are asked to find. K equal to minus 10 is the answer, right? Now let's go to question number 16. That is, what minimum must be added to 2x cube minus 3x square plus 6x plus 7 so that the resulting polynomial will be divisible by x square minus 4x plus 8. This is also a division problem from year 2020, set number 5. Let me write the dividend and draw a line and write divisor on the other side. The first step, consider terms of highest exponents. 2x cube and x square. Divide 2x cube with x square. Answer is 2x. Now write 2x at the top. And now multiply divisor with 2x and subtract the expression whatever you got from the previous expression such that you get 5x square minus 10x as the answer. So let me bring down plus 7. And now the expression I have is 5x square minus 10x plus 7, right? So the highest term with highest exponent is 5x square. Let me divide 5x square with x square. The answer is 5, and plus 5 has to go at the top as part of the coefficient. So now let me multiply the divisor with 5, and whatever I get, I have to subtract that from previous expression. When I subtract that, what I get is 10x minus 33 as the remainder, right? So the 10x, we can't do further because the highest exponent is, term with highest exponent is 10x, but its degree is 1, whereas degree of divisor is 2, right? Please take a note of that. So we can't divide this further. That's why what we do is we stop here and say that to make the remainder 0, we have to add minus 10x plus 33 to the given polynomial, that is 2x cube minus 3x square plus 6x plus 7. This is the answer. We have to add minus 10x plus 33. The next question is on dividing a polynomial p of x by x square minus 4. Quotient and remainder are found to be x and 3 respectively. the polynomial is the question. This is from 2020, set number 5. Before getting into this, I want you to, quickly recall division algorithm for polynomials. You may recall the polynomial division problems we have solved earlier. In the case of our videos on polynomials chapter. If you have not seen them yet, please go and check them. Otherwise, also it's not going to affect much. You see that we have written a few polynomial division problems as the equations shown here. That is ax square plus bx equal to x times ax plus b plus 0. Here the remainder is 0, divisor is x, and quotient is ax plus b, and dividend is ax square plus bx. Similarly, for a few other division problems also we have written like that. When you see this, let's write degree of divisor for all these problems. In the case of first one, the degree of divisor x is 1, and divisor is x plus 2, and its degree is also 1. Divisor is x square minus 2, its degree is 2. Divisor is minus x square plus 2, and its degree is also equal to 2. Now let's take a look at degree of remainders. In the first case, remainder itself is 0, or otherwise you can say that degree of remainder is 0. In the second case, remainder is 3, whereas its degree is 0. In the third case, it is 7x minus y. So degree of remainder is 1. And in the last case, it is minus 5x plus 10, the remainder, and its degree is 1. When you see this, what you have understood is, for example, if I write this particular thing as p of x equal to g of x times q of x plus r of x, when I denote dividend using p of x, divisor using g of x, quotient using q of x, and remainder using r of x, then what I can say is degree of remainder r of x is less than degree of divisor g of x, right? That's what exactly is the division algorithm for polynomials. Degree of remainder r of x is less than degree of divisor, and in some cases remainder itself is also 0. Let's now state the division algorithm. It states that if p of x and g of x are two polynomials, then we can find polynomials q of x and r of x such that p of x can be written as g of x times q of x plus r of x, where r of x is equal to 0 either, or degree of r of x is less than degree of g of x. Please take a note of this. This is what is called division algorithm. Now, let's go back to the problem. Let me write p of x equal to g of x times q of x plus r of x. From the given problem, we know that p of x equal to x square minus 4, that is your divisor, and quotient is x and remainder is 3, right? So p of x can be written as x square minus 4 times x plus 3. When you simplify it, it becomes p of x equal to x cube minus 4x plus 3. So the answer is choice B. This is not completely making use of division algorithm for polynomials, but it's partly using it. Anyway, we are going to explore such problems where division algorithm is utilized. Now let's go to question number 18. On dividing x cube minus 3x square plus x plus 2 by a polynomial g of x, the quotient and remainder were x minus 2 and 2x minus 2x plus 4 respectively. Find g of x is the question given. It is from year 2020, and p of x equal to g of x times q of x plus r of x. P of x is x cube minus 3x square plus x plus 2 given. G of x is not given. Q of x is x minus 2, and r of x is minus 2x plus 4, right? The previous expression p of x equal to g of x times q of x plus r of x can be written now as p of x minus r of x equal to g of x times q of x, right? Now using the values given for p of x, q of x and r of x, we say that g of x times q of x equal to x cube minus 3x square plus x plus 2 minus of minus 2x plus 4. When you simplify this, what you get is g of x times q of x equal to x cube minus 3x square plus 3x minus 2. What it says now is g of x can be obtained by dividing x cube minus 3x square plus 3x minus 2 with q of x, that is x minus 2. Let's take a note of that. Now it is purely a division problem. You divide this expression with x minus 2 and we are following the same steps. I'm not repeating again, but you see the steps. Now when you subtract, what you get is minus x square, right? Now we have to bring plus 3x down, and for this particular expression minus x square has to be taken out and divided with x such that you get minus x, which is part of quotient, and then multiply divisor with minus x and subtract that expression from previous expression so that you get x as the answer. Now bring minus 2 down and now you have x minus 2, that is 1. So your quotient will get plus 1, and now multiply x minus 2 with 1 such that you get x minus 2 as the response, and when you subtract it out, what you get is 0, right? So now you say that g of x is the quotient here, that is x square minus x plus 1, right? Now let's go to question number 19. If the polynomial f of x equal to 3x power 4 minus 9x cube plus x square plus 15x plus k is completely divisible by 3x square minus 5, then find the value of k. This is exact problem we have solved already, but the next part given is using the coefficient so obtained, find the two zeros of the polynomial. It is from 2020 compartment exam. We have done this problem already and we found that k equal to minus 10, right? So now what he is saying is, for the other part, using the coefficient so obtained, find the two zeros of the polynomial. If that is the question, we have to write coefficient, that is x square minus 3x plus 2. Now we have to find zeros of this particular expression such that we are going to give two zeros of the polynomial f of x. To do that, what we do is we factorize x square minus 3x plus 2, right? Using the same method of splitting the middle term. So, minus 2 can be written as minus 1 times minus 2, and minus 1 plus minus 2 equal to minus 3. So, let's say that p equal to minus 1 and q equal to minus 2. So x square minus 3x plus 2 can be now written as x square minus 1x minus 2x plus 2, right? You simplify it such that you get x minus 1 times x minus 2 as the factors. From this, you can say that 1 and 2 are the two zeros we are looking for. And these are the two zeros of the expression 3x power 4 minus 9x cube plus x square plus 15x minus 10. Please take a note of this. Now I have written already minus 10 for k in the polynomial given. Let's take a look at question number 20 now. Can x square minus 1 be a remainder while dividing x power 4 minus 3x square plus 5x minus 9 by x square plus 3? Justify your answer with reasons. It is from 2020 set 5. We know that based on the division algorithm, we can give justifications and reasons for this particular thing. Division algorithm says that degree of remainder has to be less than degree of divisor, right? Now from the given problem, you say that dividend p of x equal to x power 4 minus 3x square plus 5x minus 9, and divisor g of x is x square plus 3, and remainder r of x is x square minus 1, right? If you observe, the division algorithm says that degree of remainder Rx has to be less than degree of divisor, right? But for this particular problem, if you see degree of Rx is equal to degree of Gx, it means it is not satisfying division algorithm. So we can now say that x square minus 1 cannot be the remainder. Please take a note of this. And this is the answer we are looking for. And let's take a look at another question, that is question number 21. Divide the polynomial f of x equal to 3x square minus x cube minus 3x plus 5 by the polynomial g of x, that is equal to x minus 1 minus x square, and verify the division algorithm. First part of the problem is about division of polynomials, and second part is about verification of division algorithm. It is from year 2020 set 5. The dividend I have written, and then divisor on other side of the line I have written. Now if you see, we have to divide minus x cube with minus x square, right? The answer is x. This x has to go on top as part of the coefficient. Now let's multiply divisor with x such that you get minus x cube plus x square minus x. Subtract this from previous expression for the dividend. When you subtract that, what you get is 2x square minus 2x. Now bring plus 5 down such that it becomes 2x square minus 2x plus 5, right? On this, now we have to divide 2x square with minus x square. When you do that, you get minus 2 as the answer. That has to go as part of the quotient. Now the quotient is equal to x minus 2, right? Now let's multiply the divisor with minus 2 such that you get 2x square minus 2x plus 2. When you subtract that out from the previous expression, what you get is 3 as the remainder, right? So division problem is done. The dividend is f of x, divisor is g of x, and quotient is x minus 2, and remainder is 3. Let's take a note of that. Now we have to verify the division algorithm, right? Division algorithm talks about two things. One is degree of remainder has to be less than degree of divisor. In our case, remainder is 3, means its degree is 0, and divisor has got degree of 2. It means that degree of remainder is less than degree of divisor. It is satisfying one of the criteria of division algorithm. The second thing is divisor times coefficient plus remainder has to be equal to dividend. This is what the division algorithm says. Let's check this. Divisor times coefficient plus remainder, whether it is equal to f of x or not. When you do that and simplify, you get that as equal to f of x. It means that dividend is equal to divisor times coefficient plus remainder. Hence, we can say that division algorithm is verified. Let's go to the next question, that is, obtain other zeros of the polynomial f of x equal to 2x power 4 plus 3x cube minus 5x square minus 9x minus 3 if two of its zeros are root 3 and minus root 3. As you see here, the degree of f of x is 4. It means that it can have at most 4 zeros, right? Two of the zeros are given. Those are root 3 and minus root 3, right? It means that x minus root 3 and x plus root 3 are going to be the factors of f of x, right? You multiply them so that you get x square minus 3, right? That can also be a factor of f of x. Since x square minus 3 is a factor of f of x, to find the other factor, we have to divide f of x by x square minus 3, right? It means we have a division problem now. We have to divide 2x power 4 plus 3x cube minus 5x square minus 9x minus 3 with x square minus 3, right? As you seen here, I'm not going to solve this problem. I have given what are the values of quotient, remainder when you do this division. The quotient is 2x square plus 3x plus 1, right? You solve this problem and you will then get an expression f of x equal to x square minus 3 times 2x square plus 3x plus 1, right? Let's take a note of that. Now we can say that remaining two zeros of f of x are going to be the zeros of 2x square plus 3x plus 1, right? If that is the case, we have to find zeros of 2x square plus 3x plus 1, right? Let's use method of splitting the middle term. I'm not going to do that. You simply solve this particular thing using method of splitting the middle term, and then you will get an expression like x plus 1 times 2x plus 1. If you equate it to 0, so that you can find zeros of 2x square plus 3x plus 1 as x equal to minus 1 and x equal to minus half. So now we can say that minus 1 and minus half are the zeros of 2x square plus 3x plus 1. It means that zeros of f of x are going to be root 3, minus root 3, minus 1 and minus half. I hope you like the video. Please subscribe to our channel, eCBSE Online Classes on YouTube, and follow us on Facebook. Thank you.